These are size medium underwear. And someone is messing around with my body dimensions on constantly. It's Virgo Razor. She's gay and rapist, very obsessed. But I can actually feel her and 5+ people working on my body nonstop, injecting things in my feet and my arms, and I have scoliosis, which I don't know if I have the worst case of scoliosis. I heard that it was slight, that it doesn't even qualify to be called scoliosis, but actually I mean, some people have really messed up backs, but I have somewhat of a messed up back. Like, you can't really see it. It's not crooked or, the bone isn't sticking out or anything. But it's really painful and it does take you down because there's nowhere to go. It's your spine. So, because of that, I have paralysis, and people like Margot are taking advantage of that and stabbing me with drugs and other weapons, using gases, especially from the meth community, and trying to put me into situations, including another video and photo campaign. These women are bimbos. They've never been in business once in their life. They're completely helpless, and it's really a product of the tragedy of prostitution. There's been a prostitution problem in California for a really long time, and it's the point where it's ruining the world. There are now prostitutes everywhere because of California. And I think prostitution needs to be illegal because of that. Because people keep flying in here expecting Golden Hollywood, Hollywood, California, of the movie theaters and the red carpet. Well, I made that. I made the whole thing. And actually, I was responsible for large parts of development in California, if not almost entirely. And if that's a facet that I introduced to populate and, make California livable, then I'm going to undo it because I understand that Hollywood is so popular and so attractive, but all these people are now coming into California and they're being subjected to even more prostitution, and it's resulting in people blowing out and being crazy. And they end up, you hear about how veterans, I don't know, need people like that, prostitutes who are missing a leg or something, but actually it's turning into the point where the prostitutes need rehabilitation, and they've been on their last legs for years. They're now on round 33 of prostitute rehabilitation, and they're using me as their therapy animal. They're crawling all over me, all over my shoulders, back, head, legs, body, in bed, out of bed, while I'm walking. I need them to get off me. So, and I'm no longer managing the disaster of everyone's back office in Hollywood in terms of people, their fans wanting to make babies out of them for any reason. And that has been years now because my career has fully taken off. And I do not have the time for it, nor do I have the time for them crawling all over me, stabbing my feet, and taking lurid videos and photos of me by force at gunpoint and distributing them to school children who they then masturbate and kill. So, yeah, I'm going to oppose the prostitution facet in California as its main developer, and most likely worldwide, because unfortunately it doesn't go well. Maybe that was an idea at the time, a quick solution, but actually these people are helplessly going around in circles. This is the 33rd time they're interfering with my life on a devil worshippers brown themed schedule. They're here, I'm there, um erasing the holidays and all the Christian holidays, purposefully spoiling them. And you know what? That's not doing anyone any favors. If people thought at one point that was a good idea, well, it's not. You're not doing anyone a favor. All we hear about are prostitutes' problems. Well, they don't have problems, they create them. They create problems for themselves and for others so that they can make money. And that's an assault. So I have a situation now where I have people just called me, just got an email from a insurance person and a realtor, Coldwell Banker elite person, whether they're real employees or not. This is again people who are calling me from the prostitute community, pretending to be business people, but they're not. They're murderers, and they're murderers of hundreds of thousands of millions of people, including children. And I don't want them to have my phone number. That's not walking around in public, and that's not legalizing prostitution. So I just had to take a picture of my stomach because it's so big. Of course, there's some gas attack going on right now. So I noticed this morning it's like I'm full of water or air or gas or something, which is what I've been saying for the last couple of hours. It's like 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. But it is gas. It is gas and water and so forth because people, sure, Kid Rock's former partner, he's now dead. Uh, she is obsessively, in a sexual way, coming on to me violently, and I can't get her to stop. And they were both weird about their two kids, Sierra and Dakota, and they got gunned down for prostituting them all over the country, East Coast, West Coast. Those are not parents. They're prostitutes, and I don't want to hear about it anymore. So whoever's working for them in terms of fellow stabbards, they get a piece of crap off the ground and they stick you with their poo stick. I want you to stop. Because at the end of the day, no matter how they've mind controlled you or how they've mind washed you, uh, they don't do you any good financially or on a home life level. And this is why the advice to end terror is to be friends with me. Because, and I can tell no one gets this. I can just feel it. Because you're getting to the point where I've just said I've developed the whole West Coast. Well, I also own New York City. I'm the president for the sixth time in my lifetime in the USA. I'm a British monarch and a royal and now an emperor. And this is my fifth year running for Senate. And I founded most branches of the military, not only here in the US, but in other countries as well. So instead of trying to be friends with some beaten up prostitute who either decided that for herself or someone else decided it for her, eventually you are going to be my friend because she, by force, if she were alive, is going to be my friend also. Because I am building and supplying all of these buildings and facets of life that you are not, that other people are not, whether that's your manager at work or your mom or your babysitter, whether you think those are your biological parents or not. They most likely are not, because this terror has been going on for so long based off of gold fever being hungry for my gold, specifically mine, not anyone else's, but mine. So if you skip to the point, every adult or child in your way is going to mandatorily be my friend. It's out of necessity of life. And you too can also come to that conclusion. It doesn't require you to be at a certain age. You don't have to be old or young. You can be both old and young and be my friend, which means nonviolence and non-harm. I'm not saying anything bad about me and not um entertaining people like worn out prostitutes who mean everyone harm because they have a bad attitude because they're getting it in the ass hard every single day. But they cause trouble in other people's lives in order to do so and to attain money. And no one wants that around. So Yeah, I'm going to suggest that prostitution is illegal worldwide. It's completely imbalanced. And the consequence is that the people who are the prostitutes, they're not the victims. They are the ones who have a really bad attitude. They're the ones who will strike out for no reason. So don't be a prostitute. Don't be spending your time sending videos and photos of me. These guys are prostitutes also. Again, Jay and Sunshine are prostitutes for sure. And they took a bunch of videos along with John, another Jon, I assume. I don't even know his last name. I guess he's kind of German. From Eugene, Oregon, Washington State, California, the West Coast, basically, whatever countries they really are from, uh, took videos and photos of me at gunpoint saying I hate American children, masturbating, this and that. It's like, you know what? I don't even respect you. You're not even the people who are suggesting that that's a good idea, and you're on their time. It's your life. You have decided to be prostitutes and slaves to other people for money, sexually, of course. Make sure it's sexually. You couldn't be a crop sharer, somebody who mows a field of hay or something. It has to be sex. That was your idea. And you're not even the people who thought of that. You're on their time as long as someone will do your booty, who's a complete stranger from Iran, hopefully. As long as you get cash, but they have to touch your genitals. You know, as long as those people are running around deciding that their genitals need to be touched by complete strangers in exchange for American cash, from the West Coast, you know, they're living off people who don't even know my first name. And no, they're not into me being naked in the middle of the street, being around naked people or children, for sure. And they're not interested in a bunch of meth doing, crack doing, PCP, hard drug doing prostitutes, getting all high and mighty on me. I own 6 homes in Oregon, more than 6 homes in Washington, more than 6 homes here in Virginia. I've lived here forever. And anyone who's in business or social knows me. And who are these guys? I mean, they're from where? Iran, India, Pakistan, Israel, Africa, what? Betrayed child generation 7 of this 33 round uh prostitute spam campaign, which is causing world wars because it's getting all these people who become compensated for sex to get against me. Well, that doesn't work. That's everyone who is having sex with everyone who they don't want to be having sex with for American cash. No one else is paying for this. No one else wants to have a bunch of betrayed children one generation after another. That's slavery, and whose stupid idea was that? That's so you can get your genitals touched? Well, I don't need you sneaking around in my bedroom and poisoning me with gas and a bunch of dirt from someone else's backyard, thinking that you're someone who you're not. You sleep with black people who you don't know who are strangers for money. That's it. They must touch your genitals and your nipples. That's your only condition. You thought of it. And I'm going to say that's illegal because I find it highly disruptive and I don't want to be attacked by some crazy megalomaniacs who prefer sex with strangers for money.